Good afternoon, everyone. I have Cheryl Long with me today. We are coming to you live from a very cool Jerrol's. I understand it's 102 outside. Is that according to your car?
Yeah, it's wow. Really hot.
Well, welcome to summer. And it's always cool at Jerrol's. And there's ice cream at Weininger's, so it's something to think about. But I'm sidetracked. So Cheryl, you have joined me again today because on Saturday you have another watercolor demonstration.
That's right, I certainly do. It's been 2 months already and people seem to be looking forward to it. People are finally starting to put together your sign and who I am. Yeah, and they're going, oh, you're that person? I'm going, yeah, I really am.
You're that person right there.
Yes. I'm that person.
Yeah. So this is exciting. Once again, we get to welcome you into this space and tell people what they can expect when they come.
I'll do that. Well, what you don't need to expect is that you bring your own watercolors and that you get to paint, because lots of people seem to think that it means that they're there to paint. That is at my class, which I'm very happy to welcome you into. Start in September. However, at this demo, you're going to watch me paint, and I'm going to paint for about an hour. And this time I'm painting a big sunflower and a house bench. So it only takes an hour and it's a lot of fun. And what I love is when people bring children. It's amazing how often kids really switch on to watercolor. I started painting when I was 12 years old, pretty seriously.
Oh, never mind, we're back on.
Surprise! It's still Cheryl and Rolf coming to you live from Jerrol's. So you, Cheryl, were just explaining that at the watercolor demo on Saturday that kids, actually people of all ages are welcome.
That's correct, yeah.
And really all levels of experience and expertise.
Yes.
This is not for artists or non-artists, it's for everyone.
What I've noticed, several people have told me, I don't paint and I'm not an artist, but I find it very relaxing to watch you paint. And I'm going, well, that makes sense. Why do I go to a concert and listen to music? I'm not a musician, and I find it very relaxing for someone else to be doing the hard work, and I get to enjoy it.
Oh, that's great. And I know that there are many very serious painters who come actually time after time. My mom included, she probably wouldn't like me to call her a serious painter, but I know that she says I don't paint that style or I don't paint with those colors, but I always learn something by watching someone else paint. So I think there's a lot available for all kinds of people to show up. And again, this is Cheryl Long, and she will be joining us here at Jerrol's this Saturday, the 30th, from 2 to 3 for a completely free demonstration on painting watercolors. And she is going to do something, not this, but similar to this.
Yeah.
This-ish.
Yeah, exactly. Sunflowers and a house bench.
And it's this scale.
That scale,
right.
Bright colors.
And this is an hour to do.
Well, that one took more than an hour.
Oh, okay.
But I will do it in an hour, and you'll get to see the final result. Yeah.
And it will be finished.
It will, yes, one way or another. Yeah.
We hope you can join us, and we do want to let you know that you can reserve a seat. It's not required that you do so, but it does help us plan space, and we are limited to some degree. So you can go to the QR code or demo.jerrolls.com and reserve a seat right there. It's easy, it's quick, painless. So all ages, all levels of expertise.
Yes.
And tell me what you've been up to since we last talked. You've done some other classes and some other media, I understand.
I have. I am teaching a class called Travel Sketching with Colored Pencil and Pen. And this is a particularly joyful thing for me to teach because I love to travel. And sketching is all about just grabbing your ideas, grabbing things on the fly. It really is the opposite of painting where you're thinking all the time. You're really considering, you're composing. And with sketching, you're just grabbing what you can as you fly by it at 60 miles an hour, not me driving, my husband driving. So that class was attended by completely different people than painters. And I had a 13-year-old boy and people all the way up through the 80s. And they just loved it. And I think my joy in it is infectious. I'm so into it. But everybody just did so well. And so there's another one coming up at Gallery 1 in October.
And how can we find out more about your classes? Can we go to your website and find
Yes.
out about them?
You can always go to CherylRlong.com and I will always have my classes listed. And then Gallery 1 always has my classes listed as well.
Excellent. And we'll put that in the comments once we get this posted. And if you have any questions, America is filming today and she would be glad to share them with us. And we would love to have your questions about the weather, about painting, watercolor, the class, pretty much anything. We'll take a stab at it.
One thing I would like to say about my classes is it is all skill levels. I have a one-room schoolhouse when it comes to teaching art. What I find is that if you mix the advanced students, the intermediates, and the beginners, they all help each other, especially if you tell them this isn't a hierarchy, please help each other. And I find that people love that approach and I think make really fast progress that way. It's not just all on me.
No,
Yeah.
that's great. You don't have to be the expert.
Well, I am the expert, but but it's a time-honored way to do things, and it actually still works, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know. I like that approach.
Yeah, me too. Another thing I do that is quite a bit different is people are so used to academia, and they're used to learning a lot of theory, and then maybe 3 semesters later they start to apply that theory. And when it comes to art. And I throw people right into the deep end right away. They get a little bit of a demo, a couple of techniques, and then they're painting the very, very first day. And people just love that. They are in my class because they're anxious to get into the watercolor. They want to see that pigment and the water moving. And so people really like it. And then they'll get stuck. And they'll go, okay, Cheryl, what do I do now? And then we work it through. And do they forget that? No, they don't. Because they've applied it to their own picture. And they'll remember it for the rest of their life because it's theirs. It's not a theory out of a book.
Right.
It's adult learning, and it works extremely well teaching art. Yeah.
How many classes have you taught now in the Valley? You've almost been here a year teaching.
I've been here a year teaching, yes. And so I would have to say 6, maybe 12, 10 or 12, something like that.
Look at how many people you touched.
I know.
Well, that's cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is I always tell my students, once a student, always a student. And so if you're in the middle of a painting and you get stuck, or even if you want to show me what you just did, people have my email or they message me and they go, hey, guess what? I'm in the middle, I'm stuck, what do I do now? Or how do I frame this? Or how would you approach getting in this show? And I have people that have been with me since, 2008, that still ask me questions. And I really get joy from that. I love that long-term connection that goes beyond just student and pupil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So I thank you for being here.
Oh,
and
you're so welcome.
once again, I am privileged to have Cheryl Long with me today. She is sharing a little bit about the free watercolor demo that is coming up on Saturday. Could be an excellent day to get out of the heat, come enjoy some air conditioning, and get some joy, all for free.
Yeah.
You can't do better than that.
All right.
We hope you will reserve a spot, so you can go to demo.jerrolls.com, and there's also, you can keyword demo at 1-800-858-2427. We hope to see you on Saturday.
And I hope to see you on Saturday as well.
Thank you, everyone. America, were there any questions?
Nope, no questions.
Nobody ever asked us any questions.
Well, what do you know? But during the demos, people ask
Oh,
questions.
yes, they do.
They do a lot, so
Yes.
it's okay. We'll see you there.
All right, everybody, stay cool. Drink lots of water.